It's time for Let's Get Real with your host from Bob Richards and Associates, Bob Richards.
Bob, how you doing?
Good, Michael. How are you doing today?
I am just doing fabulous. It is so good to have you back again.
Thank
Good to
you.
see you.
Good to be with you.
I'm digging the red tie.
Thank you. Thank you. Power tie, maybe? I don't know.
Very power tie. I'm almost intimidated to sit next to you.
Or maybe it's the on-air tie.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
I love it. Oh, we got a lot of good response from the last show we did, Bob, when we were talking about state of the real estate market.
Yeah.
And we do want to let everybody know that Bob owns Bob Richards and Associates, which is representing Berkshire Hathaway right here in the lovely town of St. George in southern Utah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about something a little bit different today. In fact, I don't really hear a lot of realtors or real estate-oriented shows talking about this topic, and I think it's a shame because I think it's important, and that is vacation rentals. I understand there's money to be made in vacation rentals. I don't know, just something I heard.
A lot of people hear that, and they think, well, this is an easy gig. I can get in, buy, and just start printing money. I don't need a color copier. It'll just come out the way it's supposed to and just hit my wallet, or hit my account. And I'm just going to be filthy rich by buying this vacation rental.
That sounds great. Let's do that.
I know. How would it be?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that kind of sounds too good to be true
You
is
mean
probably,
Yeah, you mean it's not really that way?
It isn't.
Oh, I am disappointed.
I'm sorry.
Okay, show's over.
Sorry. Yeah, well, that was it.
So tell me about vacation rentals. Is this an actual business?
It actually is, Michael, and a lot of people don't understand that. This is not something that is a casual real estate investment where you have a tenant that's there for 6, 12 months. These are tenants that are there for days. It might be 3, 6, maybe 30, maybe 60 days. Who knows? It depends on the tenant or the guest. And so you have to treat them very differently than what you would with a long-term tenant, because this transient guest there for a few days is treated very differently than somebody that is longer term.
In what way are they treated differently?
Yeah, it's in my previous life of real estate, I was involved in the hospitality industry up in Salt Lake. That hospitality experience that I had is far better than anybody else that hasn't had that experience, because they know what a guest wants when they check into a hotel. They know their expectations. They have a certain eye, a certain ear as to what they're hearing, what they're seeing, what the guest is looking for, what the guest's needs are. And so the host, the person that's hosting or managing that property, that vacation rental property, needs to conform with what they're offering to meet that guest's needs. If they don't, then the guest gives a bad review and they don't return and they don't give out a referral. Those are 1, 2, 3 strikes and you're out.
So this is more of a short-term rental thing, a vacation rental. Is it like an Airbnb, or how would you describe that?
Great question. Airbnb, VRBO are the two top platforms for a vacation rental that are used throughout the world, and the most popular. There are others like Expedia, MyBookings.com, and many others that are out there. But really, Airbnb and VRBO are the first top two. That's anything else. There's a distant third after that.
And is this something that you guys do over at your firm?
Yeah. Now, you can have different things where I own some and also manage a couple. That's one way. Or there are specific companies that offer vacation rental property management, where they are in lieu of you. So you're basically handing off all the responsibilities to them to manage, to book, get people in, get them satisfied, get them back with a 5-star rating once they leave, and basically, like I say, stand instead of the homeowner, the vacation rental owner or vacation rental investor. Yes.
Would you recommend that if I have a property that I want to use as a vacation rental, that I use one of those management services, or is it something I want to try to do on my own? Or
kind of depends. I would say that many times, depending upon your availability of time, the speed to lead concept that we find in sales, we also find in vacation rental properties, that you can't wait a day or even 12 hours, let alone longer than that, to get bookings. You've got to respond quickly when that first inquiry comes in, either through your phone, a text message, an email, maybe a little bit of all of those. And so if you have that time, you can probably handle it yourself. If you don't, hand it off to a property manager. But understand, folks, there's about 30 to 35% of that income goes to them and not to you. So you have to weigh out, do I keep that 30 to 35% and operate it myself, or is it better for me just to stay away and let them handle it? If you live in North Carolina, Southeast, Southwest, Oregon, Alaska, Fiji, it probably makes it a little bit harder than if you were in here in the market.
So I understand we have a few vacation rentals right here in Southern Utah.
Oh boy, a few times 10 and times 10. So yes, we do. We're in kind of I would say a high volume, high inventory called saturation market for vacation rentals. And that's unfortunate because what that does is that pushes price downward. So those that do have a vacation rental and say they have a mortgage against it, they need to make sure that thing is filled so that they can pay the tab every month on that mortgage. If they don't find that, then they're having to supplement that mortgage and make sure that it's paid, because it doesn't matter how busy you are, the mortgage company, they still want your money. And so you have to be prepared to write that check.
How dare they?
I know. Yeah.
What is this world coming to?
You would think that they're closed like on 4th of July and Christmas Day. No. Their interest rate always, the interest amount always is clicking, no matter day or night.
It's a profit deal.
It is. It is. Yeah, something like that. That's right.
So basically, if I have a vacation rental, I'm in business.
You are in business. And that's a big change for people in their mindset. This is a business. This isn't something that you just casually treat and maybe kind of sort of get a booking here and there, or, hey, if I post it on Airbnb, I'll just have a flood of bookings. That's not the case, folks. You got to have that, Michael, where there's something that differentiates your property from the competition. What is it that makes yours stand out? There's a great book that I used to read a long time ago and still have it in my library. It's called The Purple Cow. And that purple cow stands out in the field. You get it? I'll be here till Friday. So that same kind of a thing applies to a vacation rental where something has to be that stands out. Is that a private pool? Are you offering free electronic bicycles while they're there for their stay? Is there, maybe you're doing dinner for them? Whatever that little hook maybe could make the difference between a booking and not booking.
Yeah. So you need a unique selling point, just like any other business, something to help you cut through the clutter and be a little bit stronger than the competition.
Yes.
So I got to ask you, since this is a business, do I need a business license to rent my property as a vacation rental? Separate corporation? How do I do that from a financial and business standpoint? Really good question, Michael. Thanks for asking. Yes, you do need a license, and you need to have something that is signed by the city in which that residence is in, and also make sure that it is vacation rental approved. You can't say that, oh, well, the one next door doesn't mean that yours is too, or across the street or down the street or in the same subdivision. It's simply not that case. So be careful and be aware, because if you get a fine, it's expensive. This is 30 days in jail or 1 year probation. There's fines that could reach somewhere of about $6,000 to $7,000. Immediate cease and desist. So you have to cancel all your reservations, refund every amount of money, and pay some of that money even potentially to one of the municipalities, like the cities of Washington, St. George, Hurricane, Ivans, etc. So that can be a very costly mistake. So you have to make sure that it is pre-zoned to be a vacation rental. 30 days in jail. 30 days in jail. There's a vacation rental that you want to avoid. Exactly. Yeah. Frankly. The bologna sandwiches get pretty old after a while. The Gray Bar Hotel. Oh my gosh. So, how do I go about getting approved as a vacation rental? Is there a website I need to go to? Is there what forms do I need to fill out? Who do I contact? Yeah, each city has a building and zoning department, and so before making an acquisition for a vacation rental, find out if it's zoned within that location. If it is, great. If you need to apply for a variance or a zone change, good luck, because that's not necessarily granted on an immediate basis by any means.
The cities are finding, hey, we are starting to see where there's an influx and an outflow very quickly between Thursday and Sunday or Monday. And so traffic's bad, and other things are extremely busy, which is great. We love the revenue. We love people to come and visit here. We really do. There's so much to see and so much to do. Blue sky, red rocks, sands, it all goes on. Anyway, from a licensing standpoint, make sure that you have a license that either your property manager is here locally or you are here locally. That's the real key for the 35%, 30%. If you do live out of the area, then you have to have somebody local that is your property manager in case there's a 911 call, ambulance, a fire of the property. Somebody has to be there local to be there quickly as the representative of the owner if the owner doesn't live geographically here close.
That's really good. I didn't know that. That's a brand new tidbit of information that is really, really good to know. So somebody has to be here locally. Either you do
Right.
or your property manager. In case of an emergency or something happens, somebody's got to be here to be responsible.
Correct.
To take over the thing. That's pretty interesting. I'm still stuck on the 30 days in jail. If I do this. I'm terrified now.
They may waive it for you because of your name. You never know. Guess it's who you know, right?
Oh my gosh! So as a potential vacation rental guy, what should be my realistic expectations, other than the fact that I don't have to do anything and just lay around and the money rolls in, and I go, honey, go deposit that other check. I got to go buy another Maserati.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Other than that,
well, you have to look at the expenses too, Michael. Is what else is there besides if there's a mortgage payment? Besides that, what sort of maintenance fees do I have in between guests? What are the HOA dues if it's in a community that has clubhouse, pool, swimming pool, lazy river, pickleball courts, whatever their hook is to have you want to book there within that community? How much does that cost the owner? Can you pass that along to the guest? Well, it kind of depends. How much is your cleaning fee? And who are you paying to have it clean? And are they doing a great job? You can hire any cleaner in the world. And the ones that I don't care for to hire are those, bless their hearts, I love them to death, but those are in a current hotel motel situation and their housekeeping department is not the person that you want to have clean your vacation rental. These folks are very detail oriented in a hotel setting, but not in a vacation rental setting where things get found underneath tables, under couches, behind seat cushions. There could be equipment, it could be toys, it could be even a key that was left behind and not to be found again. So you have to have somebody extremely detail-oriented as a cleaner. In addition to that, you have property taxes, you have utilities, you have other maintenance bills, insurance that's involved with that. There may be charge for cable or satellite or Roku or whatever it might be that you also have to take into account. So folks, Michael, it gets expensive.
Yeah, I can see there is a lot of other fees that are required to pay in addition to the mortgage. So I've got utilities. What are platform fees?
Yeah, thank you. So Airbnb and VRBO and some of the others, we call them platforms. They have a certain way of guests booking a reservation at a vacation rental like yours, and then they handle the general initial booking paperwork, meaning that they send out a confirmation to that guest, tell them that the dates have been confirmed, what their nightly fee is, what their deposit is for security deposit, how much they charge as a platform, so Airbnb fee or a VRBO fee or something of that nature. They got to make money, so they charge the investor, the property management, well, excuse me, not the property manager, the guest and also the owner of the property commissions. So they do pretty darn good when all is said and done. And basically to take 15 minutes to have something filled out for a booking is pretty darn good for hundreds of dollars in fees. So that's the two platforms that I'm talking about is something that people well known, but that's the main booking hubs would be the Airbnb and VRBO.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is anyone better than the other, or are they both comparable?
Very interesting. VRBO had the market years ago. 3-4 years ago, there was nobody behind them, even close. Fast forward to now, Airbnb is absolutely killing it in comparison to VRBO. They have taken over market share like none other. Talk about a takeover. They took over first place, and second place is still on second lap. And so they've been lapped by Airbnb and doing extremely well.
Why do you think that is?
They caught on to the fact that they can't make money unless their property owners are making money. They can't. They need to provide a higher level of service to the property owners so that they'll want to continue to use them and maybe exclusively use them. And so as a result of that, they reset their platform to be more homeowner friendly as well as guest friendly too, but more homeowner friendly, because that is the one that comes every time. Whereas the guest comes and goes. The property owner is always there.
So they figured out a way to outcompete and outmarket their competition
They have.
in a way that benefits the homeowner and which ultimately ends up benefiting themselves. I think there's a lesson to be learned there. Just because you're the big dog in the market, don't be relaxing on your laurels. Somebody else can come in and be more competitive, take your market share.
Very true.
And I think there's a good lesson. I think that's a good lesson to be learned also for people who own vacation rentals. Just don't be sitting around thinking, I rent this thing out every year, and I don't really have to do much of anything because it's such a high demand area. Somebody else can come along and simply outmarket you and outcompete you. So, as a vacation rental owner, what are some things that I can do to make sure that I'm always competitive in the market and always get perhaps the highest dollar for my return on my investment? What can I do to remain competitive?
If you manage it yourself, Michael, you can kind of get on different websites or different property management company websites and see what other competing properties within that subdivision or area similar to your home are renting for during that week, that month, that holiday, and price yours accordingly. If you feel like that you want to undercut that a little bit, maybe $10, or is that 5%, or do you offer a larger discount if they stay for 30 days? What is that you're going to get an advantage of besides just price? But you can look at price. That's certainly a good option. Second thing is, okay, what about my interior? How does my interior look? Do I have nice furniture, or is it frumpy? If I sit on the couch and about hit the floor, should I probably change out the couch? Answer, obviously, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and so you want to give it as much of a Ritz-Carlton 5-star experience as much as you can to a guest, even though it may not be that much a night. You make memories for people, they'll return.
I think that's those are all really, really good ideas and things that we can do to remain competitive, because there's always somebody lurking around the corner that wants to take your market share, or if you're doing really good on one thing, they're going to figure out a way to do the same thing and do it better, and either for less money or for more money, which kind of takes the whole thing away from you. One of the things that I think one of the options that we have to look at as vacation rental purveyors, it's like, so this, in my mind, this is what it boils down to. Do I want to manage it myself? So do I want to have more stress and more stress and more money, or do I want to have somebody else manage it where I'll have less stress and a little bit less money, but I'll have less stress? So it's kind of like, what's important to you? Are you in it only for the money? Then you might want to consider doing it yourself. If you're looking for something where you don't have a lot of stress in your life, you just want something, kind of cool that comes in, and you might want to look to working with one of the platforms, Airbnb or VRBO.
Correct.
I think that's great. So before we head on down the road today, Bob, what are some tips and advice that you can give people who are looking to become owners of vacation rentals?
First of all, don't buy it for you. If you're trying to buy something for you, you've missed the boat, because your mental block there of ownership means that you're going to occupy. So ownership and occupy are synonyms in this scenario. If you're going to make money, buy something that's going to make money. And that's going to make a huge difference. So you're looking at different things that, okay, if I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, or if there's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, which is the better route? Well, you'd think the 4-bedroom, because you can put in more beds. Here's the answer, folks. It's the 3-bedroom that does better. The 4-bedroom is missing a bathroom. It needs to be 3.5 bathrooms and not 2.5 bathrooms. When you think of how many people will occupy those other 3 bedrooms besides the master suite, they can't do it with a bathroom and a half. So you lose people from booking when you even don't have enough bathrooms. But you have to kind of look at, again, what else is there to do? What else is around me? Are the bike trails close by? Is Snow Canyon close by? Is Zion close by? What again is that convenience hook that I can get for a guest that might be looking at coming to my property?
Yeah.
And then also the personal services. What is it that I can offer that would be just a little bit extra that would make a nice difference for people to want to come back?
I think that's great. Well, Bob, you've really helped, at least you've helped me out in my knowledge of vacation rentals. I'm sure that your information will be helpful to everybody who's watching and listening today. So, Bob, if somebody has questions about vacation rentals, how do they get a hold of you?
Thanks, Michael. 688 Utah, area code 435-688-8824 is where you can reach me at Berkshire Hathaway. Toll free, you can reach me at 1-800-BUY-UTAH. That's pretty easy to remember. And obviously, my real estate website is buyutah.com. That's BUYUTAH.com.
Great. Once again, thank you, Bob, of Bob Richards and Associates, representing Berkshire Hathaway here in Southern Utah and St. George. Now, I understand on our next show, we're going to be talking about interest rates.
That we are.
Great. Well, we'll see you then. You guys take care.
Thank you.
This has been Let's Get Real with Bob Richards from Bob Richards and Associates. For more information, buyutah.com. We invite you to return again for another edition of Let's Get Real with Bob Richards from Bob Richards and Associates. This has been a production of One to One Network.